thanks again, mate, for joining us for another my first White Dwarf. We've got White Dwarf issue 169 with a very angry-looking space wolf on the front cover.
Yeah, I was looking at this picture. Thank you, Josh, as well. I was looking at this. It's like I don't know what is going on above them in that picture. Is that like a spaceship crashing down out of the sky at them? It seems like a bad place to be stood at this point. You know what I mean?
Very typical Jeff Taylor artwork. He's always has these kind of angled kind of perspectives on various different artworks he does. So yeah, he likes scale perspective and all that kind of thing, which I really like as well. A very atmospheric perspective. But yes, very different, isn't it? So
it looks great though. Yeah, no, it's a wonderful picture. Yeah, and it's you see the little shot with the Grots and the Ultramarines, the Gretchen and the Ultramarines. It's like the most one-sided battle I think I've ever seen. They're just there's like a dozen Gretchen and an Orc Minder being assaulted by 10 Assault Marines and a Devastator squad at point blank range. I also noticed as well, I didn't remember this, that they've got a little content section for the adverts down at the bottom of the contents page. It just tells you where you can find the advert for the Rhino in the White Dwarf. It's like, who's going, I desperately need to know where all the adverts are in this magazine. Yeah, that is the other thing I really noticed. It was the squat vehicle for the Epic Space Marine is the Cyclops. It's just got the most ridiculous gun. I don't remember seeing this when I was a kid. Is that like, does the model just topple over? Are they compensate? Well, actually, they're squats, so they probably are compensating for something with that.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. How do you pronounce this? Arbites, Arbites, Arbites,
Arbites.
Yeah,
Aussie pronunciation.
You never find anyone who can agree on this. It always seems to be a contentious thing. Yeah, I did notice this. They've got. Have you ever seen Arbites on bikes?
Never.
So I think it's this page. That you can take bikes.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go.
They can be made. I've never even seen anyone convert it or anything. That's if I had the money to buy a whole load of old metal Arbites and chop them in half, then I'd probably make a squad for something. But
given your 3D modeling skills, Dr. Spork, I'm sure you can make them yourself, mate.
Oh, we'll see about that. Ah, yes, those red tablecloths, and yeah, these pictures really bring back memories. This was like me, and I've had a wee look through a few White Dwarfs from my kind of era, and I haven't spotted myself in any of them, but it wouldn't surprise me if kind of little fat Callum was hiding somewhere in one of these pictures. Ah, yeah, I was really intrigued by this Mike McVeigh painting book, because I think I've got another one of his that I got somewhere for a reasonable price. However, this one that they're talking about, the Warhammer 40k painting guide, I looked that up and I was like, I don't have enough money to buy that. It's hideously expensive. Ah, lovely. I'm actually working on that. You can just see it in the background, that cathedral at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's the other side of it. It's got like the steps going up, which you normally see at like the start of like battle reports. I think there's like was it one of the first second edition battle reports? It had the Space Wolves, I think, stood all up it in the opening shot. I'm actually working on a model for that at the moment, so quite enjoying doing that. I also noticed as well, everyone goes on about goblin green bases, but the amount of different colors on the bases across all of these Eldar, they're all sorts of different shades of green. If you look at like the Howling Banshees in the bottom left,
that's right.
Like the Exarch has a completely different color to the rest of them. I love the kind of it's this rest of the owl thing, isn't it? Where you get to the third stage, and then it's like, and then just do all of the other bits that make it look great.
Bling.
I think most people stop at like stage 3, if I remember. So,
I think when I started painting, I'll be pretty chuffed if I get to stage 3 and it looks like that. I mean, that'll be pretty impressive for me. So
yeah, I think someone on the Discord had some of these Skaven. Was it the Doombringer recently?
Yep.
And there was an immense bit of chat about how you can't actually fit the banners onto the poles.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. Yeah. They're awful. Yeah, awful bloody things. Oh, I like him.
Yeah, that hat was the 90s was just full of big hats for everyone, was it? I like the
Yeah,
banner as well, like the little kind of. Did you not do a castle like that on one of your
I did.
undead
I actually got to
shields?
paint. I got to paint Arcan the Black as well, and did the shields one of the white champions. I think it was. But
Yeah.
awesome model, love it. He's like the Pope because he's got the Pope hat. It's all purple.
I was going to say actually, yeah. So the Tomb Blade, I remember reading through this, and the Tomb Blade just makes more undead skeletons as it goes along, as like
Yeah,
one of its special things. So like, if you've got this, you just need to have like a box of plastic skeletons ready to go. And I love this. This is the artwork from the Dark Millennium box set, isn't it?
yeah. Is it?
Yeah, I
It
I think
isn't.
I think
I
is that
think so.
not the one off the front of Dark Millennium? For yeah. Anyway,
I don't have it.
that
Yeah.
is just great. I mean, the shoulder pads are so 80s, aren't they? Just
Yeah.
huge. Oh yeah, no, it says all of the models for Golden Demon back then needed to be on a standard slaughter base. All the bases have to be painted green. Is one of the little stipulations they've got in there. Yeah, the interesting thing was about the Youngbloods competition. It has to be a plastic model, which back then
Oh,
is quite restrictive. You know, you've got the starter sets and probably a few of the other monopose models and stuff like that. But it's an interesting way to restrict them back then to simpler models. So that was
yeah. You're right, mate. You're right.
oh yeah, I like this the bit of John Blanchard work in the corner of the
Mm.
Vermin Lords.
Mhm.
He looks like he's just found like a little locket with a picture of his most loved one in it, and he's just looking at it. You know, it's it's just such a strange pose. But
And weaponless. He's got no weapon. He doesn't need a weapon. He can just punch people so hard with
yeah,
strength 8 and weapon skill 8. So, and 8 attacks. It's 8 punches to the head. I think that'll solve any argument, no doubt.
yeah, he does have a very spiky fist there, so that would probably help with that quite a bit. Oh yeah, the Lord Skrolk.
Mhm.
I don't know if you zoomed in, but or looked closely, but like the freehand on his Liber Bubonica on
Mm,
that model is wonderful.
yeah.
Um, just lovely bit of detail that they've managed to do there. Oh yeah, no, I actually I ordered some stuff off eBay and I've got Queek's back banner and I'm still trying to figure out what to do with it. Actually, I just recognized it there.
It wasn't one of the drunken eBay kind of press on and buy kind of things, was it?
No, I can't remember what it was. I bought it with. It was like I think it was just with some other miniatures, and it had got chucked in with the lot.
Here we go.
Ah, yes. There we go. Look at those. Those card models are fantastic.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget, if you want to recreate that image, you can get models to recreate all of them. If you look up me on Cults 3D,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's a bit more of a fairer fight this time than the one at the start as
Yeah.
well. The gods have managed to bring a dreadnought along. Do you find it a bit irritating that that bunker floor plan is completely the wrong shape for the bunker? Because the
Uh,
bunker's not like a big long.
rectangular bunker.
Yeah, it's sort of it's closer to square.
I was going to say it's almost like a Space Hulk tile.
I also love the fact that they mention. I think it's under support weapons. They say you cannot set up a mole mortar on the roof. Because they just said someone's going to try and do that, and it's the
I think we
dumbest
did it.
idea ever.
I think we did it. I think we did it in one of our battle reports. So
Was
naughty.
that with the Gene Stealer cult?
Yeah, I think it was a Gene Stealer cult game. We did that. So
Ah, yes, the assault squad. They're described there as at the forefront of the hardest fought battles in the galaxy,
well,
like
against
beating
Gretchen,
up half a. Yeah, I was going to
they're
say
really
like
good
beating
against
up a
Gretchen.
dozen
Yeah,
grots.
yeah, they're brilliant against them.
And that Bjorn the Fell-Handed, I'm pretty sure I had that model back in the day, and the artwork again on the banner is just lovely, iconic model. And I love this whole story behind him as well, with the with like he fought with Leman Russ. The Goths, perfectly camouflaged to fight on a chessboard.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe this is where the sticking out like dog's balls expression came from. Maybe.
Well, they don't want to hide. That's the thing. They want to see, they want you to see them so that you get into the fight quicker. So that's it's fair play to them. Yeah, it seems like not a lot of scenery for a game actually. That the orcs are going to get shot to pieces, is my guess.
And notice the bunkers are in a rectangular shape. So there you go.
Yeah, they're a bit. Yeah, they aren't that shape. But I noticed that when I was doing like the Bastion, is that someone said, "Oh, you can get the shape of the top of it from battle reports," and I was like, "You can't. It's completely different shape to the actual shape of the model."
Yeah.
I love that John Blanche illustration with the citadel. It's like it's sort of I think I'm thinking it's like the rock, the Dark Angels monastery fortress. That's sort of how I imagine that when I think about it. It's just I remember building this back in the day. I think I said to you before when I was on the podcast. I think this is my first White Dwarf. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is because I think I remember I would have been quite young. I don't think I would have been properly into the game at this point. It was kind of couple of 2 or 3 years after this that I kind of really got into it, kind of the latter half of second edition. And I got this, and I think I saw my brother getting it with this kind of make your own battle bunker. And I think, I want that. And my parents were probably like, oh, well, that's good. He'll build something. It'll be, it'll shut him up for 5 minutes, which back then was a big deal. But there's all sorts of funny little quirky bits to it, like the bit that goes around the top, like the metal cope that goes around the top of the wall, doesn't seem to really fit properly on the model. It's like they designed it and then never quite got it to work. So I remember distinctly as I put the door with the Gothic arch and the zigzag separation line on it. I put that on because I thought that was the coolest one. But I'd always wanted it as to be that zigzag line with like a lozenge-shaped door, like the original one.
Yep.
So when I did the design for the 3D model, I actually did exactly that. So the one on the 3D model that I designed has got the kind of lozenge-shaped door, but with the zigzag separation line, as if someone's coming in, you hit a big red button to close the doors, and they get squished in these big spiky doors. Kind of the thing. I also, as well, the doors on the side of the bunker. Why would you put it? I don't understand why it would be on the side of the bunker. So I moved it to the back face of the bunker because I figured that's where you'd have it anyway. So, but no, it's a lovely piece of nostalgia. This actually, I've never had a chance to play Man of War. I keep meaning to try and get a game with someone on the Discord. Because it's a kind of game I love the look of it and I love the idea of ships fighting, but so I'll need to see if someone can teach a complete noob how to play a 30-year-old game. The Black Ark of Nagaroth is one of the nicest models. I think back in the day you could just order bits, and that skull, I remember seeing that on like people's Chaos tanks and things like that. Right. They'd just phone up Games Workshop and say, I just want that. Can you send me that? And I'll stick it on my tank. Because you could just get all the individual bits to order. It was great.
I love that photo of Andy Jones at the top there. That's classic.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that. It's like, that's probably when he regrets having taken us.
Yeah.
Or is very proud of, actually, because I think there's a few photos of me dressed like an idiot 20 years ago that I think most people think I should be embarrassed about, but I'm not at all.
He looks like one of the members of Jimi Hendrix Experience. That's what I get the vibes from when I look at that photo.
Yes, I remember reading through this, and the one with the fleet's approach. I was trying to figure out, where do I start reading that text? It's some kind of quite strange page layout. Oh, look at that color! That's missing so much from Games Workshop these days. Just vibrant, nice colors that make you want to play the game.
Attractive, I would say, like attractive on the eye. It just looks attractive to play, and that's where it got us didn't it? Really, that's what it got us.
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, the whole it's like going back to like the red tablecloths and earlier on and things like that. When you're looking at the stores, you just walk past, you see it, and it's pow, pops right out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, those Nurgle ships with the faces on them. Yeah, they're wonderful as well. Actually, yeah. So that whole Dark Elf fleet is great. Yeah, no, in a surprising twist, like Jarvis Johnson does actually win, which I didn't think was allowed. He must have slipped someone 20 quid or something.
Yeah, no, this is the drooling section of it though. This is the bit that you pour over so much, going, oh, I could have this. There's that skull.
Yep,
I mentioned the skull prey. So you could just order that straight from them, and it just slap it on the front of the tank.
Yeah,
where you go. Great. Remember doing that kind of stuff because they had like in the Citadel Journal, they had was it Mad Doc Butcher's Clinic or something?
Yes,
where you could just they gave you suggestions for conversions you could make, and you could phone up the mail order and just get the parts to make that conversion, which was fantastic.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah,
the Pope
himself. Yeah, that's that is a really cool model.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So it's like that and like Grom the Paunch and I love those huge chariots that just look absolutely ridiculous.
And this is the flying chariot, which is the only flying chariot, I believe, in the game, and I don't think they ever did it after this. I think it was like a one-shot appearance, like in the 90s. It came out with a flying chariot, and I don't think they ever made another flying chariot ever again, as far as I know.
Maybe they learned that it was a bit OP or something. I don't know. I never played against it. So.
It's brilliant. If I get an undead army, this is the guy I want to lead it with. He's just the best.
So the gun's so big it comes in several parts to fit on the gun.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's like I wouldn't have thought that would have been such a complicated model. Actually, think of it. So there's quite a lot of parts in there.
You even got a Hell Fury cannon end, so there is an end to Great Phallic cannon.
Should say tip, shouldn't it? He's Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Yeah, I don't think I could bring myself to chop Adeptus Arbites. I don't know how you'd even convert them because they've all got both hands on the gun to put them on a bike.
Yeah. Again, any 3D modelers want to take on the second edition challenge of making those into bikers, please be our guest.
Yeah. I mean, you could do the champion guy with the shotgun. You'd need to just replace his pointing arm with like you probably just need to replace the hand or something and bend him a bit.
And the cape, he's got like a flowing trench coat or something like that. You need to resculpt all of that as well. So
get the green stuff out. Yeah.
Look at that. Bloody glory.
Yeah.
There he is, the Pope on the chariot, leading his crew of bad men that are dead and resurrected again.
They can't rank up those Imperial halberdiers, can they? Because they're all kind of offset. The ones that right at the front.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
They obviously just don't rank up at all.
Well, they're the ones with the plug-in arms, and I think if you don't put them on the diagonal, which is interesting because back in those days they only had diagonal slotter bases. They didn't have the straight slotter base. So it's weird. They actually went all that trouble to put them onto straight slotters, and then they don't rank up. So that's interesting. Yeah, but they look like a nice looking unit though.
I think I do need to get on to making some fantasy scenery at some point as well. Just looking at those buildings in the background.
Well, I'm going to build that big yellow bastard of an inn at the back there. You see that one?
Yeah.
I'm going to swear a lot and I'm going to cut myself a lot, but I'm going to get that thing built for sure. But yeah, if you want to make the most iconic building, that would be the one to do in 3D, mate. That one there, the giant. I think it's the Fantasy Inn. I think, or the Coach Inn or something.
Yeah, I miss the days when they used to just have like the instructions of how to make your own stuff in White Dwarf, rather than being like, because I think they're bringing back a whole load of like the mid to late 2000s fantasy stuff is coming back soon, like the Manor House and what have you, and everyone's really excited. And I was like, that was after my time. I still just think you need to be chopping up cornflake boxes to make roof tiles. That's where it's at.
Save yourself some money, make it yourself. That's what I say. And there's something you enjoy at the same time. It's great
Yeah.
fun doing it.
You see those 6 wraiths at the back there behind the Pope?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You painted.
they will kill every single thing on that table. Just those 6. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. They're worth probably about 600 points, and they're going to kill every single thing on that table.
It's the black arc of the undead. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, they're just incredible. They're just nuts. They are wraiths. They are like living wraiths. Like if you got a mundane weapon, sorry, you can't hurt me. You need a magic weapon. And I do 3 attacks, and anything I do a chill attack and all this kind of stuff. I've seen them in action. They're just amazing. They're just incredible. They'll just destroy entire units by
It's certainly
themselves. They're
certainly
beautiful.
su surprisingly unwary, weren't they? Yeah. You painted those as well, didn't you? That
I
was part
did.
of your commission.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching the video. That
Yep.
was
It's
you
great.
did a lovely
Great.
job on those.
Wonderful commission to do that. Yeah, it's really lovely. Once in a lifetime thing, that one.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really enjoyed the videos. It's nice that we get to see that actually. It's good.
And Dr. Spork, has been an absolute pleasure again, mate, to go through this issue of yours. And I
Thank you
hope
very
that
much.
was equally entertaining for yourself.
I loved going back through reading it as well. Just it's the first time I've read a 90s White Dwarf probably since the 90s. So and I think I've got a few PDFs. I'll need to start really digging through them. So no, but thank you, and yeah, hope everyone enjoyed it.
I hope so too. Okay, mate, good on you, and I'll catch you again next time.